Let's bet Monday Night Football. We got two games to look at. We got Jets and Dolphins, Broncos and Bengals. In this video, I'm going to break down both as well as give you my favorite player prop, and it's plus 140, and I love the value on this one. Welcome to the channel. My name is Peter Apple, and this is the home for all of my NFL picks moving forward. And the best way to support these free picks, keep all the analysis coming. All I ask, you just tap that like button and comment down below. What do you think about these plays? What are your favorite plays for Monday Night Football? And make sure to hit that big red subscribe button so you never miss any of these pick videos. Let's get into it. A reminder that you can find all of my picks on BetMGM. Just remember to use code JustGridiron if you're new, because if your first pick loses, you'll get it all back in bonus bets up to $1,500. If you haven't used it yet, I highly recommend doing so. You don't just want to leave free bonus bets on the table. Reminder, code JustGridiron on BetMGM. First bet offer up to $1,500 back in bonus bets if your first wager loses. Before we get to my bet, let me show you where my model is at for both the side and the total for both of these games, because I don't have any picks on the side or total, not enough value, but we can still break it down, tell you where my numbers are at. So if your number agrees and maybe you're even showing a little bit more value than me, you can use it as a going off point. I make the Dolphins minus 3.2. So there's not enough value there for me to make a bet. But if you can grab minus 2.5 at minus 110, let's say the market is just eating up the Jets and you can get some value, maybe minus 2 or anything like that, I don't mind the Dolphins at all. Now, I'm not a huge fan of the Dolphins, but I'm definitely not a fan of the Jets either. And then if we're looking at the total, not much there. So if you're looking for a lean, I would think that my favorite play would be Dolphins minus 2.5. But again, no wager from me on that game. Let's go over to Broncos versus Bengals. Another interesting one. I've had to downgrade Cincy in my model pretty heavily, as their defense is such a disaster. And Jake Browning is hit or miss, right? Therefore, I'm pretty much in line with the market at Denver minus 7.5. So I don't mind teasing them down to minus 1.5 if you want to pick something on Thursday, on next Sunday, if you want to form a teaser there. In terms of the total, pretty spot on there as well. So my recommendation would be to tease Denver if you like. However, I do have a player prop that I think is much better than teasing Denver down to minus 1.5. Cincy has holes all over their defense. Everybody's eating, but a certain position is eating extra. They got more food on their plate. Evan Engram is back from injury, and I want to look at his receptions prop. He's off to a really weird start, looking great in his first game, catching 3 balls on 5 targets, but he had to leave that game due to a calf injury. He was questionable going into week 2, didn't play much, only caught 1 pass on 2 targets, but he also had a back thing flare up, and that's why he missed week 3. So in total, he just has 4 catches on the season on just 6 targets. But this is Evan Engram we're talking about, so I think it's a good opportunity to buy low, especially this week, because this week, full participant in practice every single day. No limited, no DNPs, full practice every single day. So we should get a full bill of health here. And before we even talk about the matchup, Engram is still a focal point in this offense, even though he only has 4 catches on the season. Per FTN Fantasy, Evan Engram is 4th on Denver in first read targets, despite only playing 2 games. He'll be 3rd if Denzel Mims doesn't play, who hasn't practiced much this week outside of being limited on Saturday. The Broncos, they scheme targets for him. It's not just it's not just Bo Nix surveying the field and seeing him open. They scheme targets for him. And when looking at Cincy's defense, it makes a lot of sense to me that they would do it in this game at a higher rate than they've already done so this season. The Bengals have allowed the 4th most EPA per target to tight ends, so Denver should look to exploit that. Granted, Bengals are bad everywhere, but tight ends have especially eaten against the Broncos this season. In week 1, David Njoku caught 3 balls for the Browns, but he was targeted 6 times, and Joe Flacco wasn't exactly accurate. Brenton Strange for Jacksonville caught 3 balls in week 2, and then TJ Hawkinson caught 5 balls in week 3. Healthy Evan Engram should be able to follow that. as he went over this line in 8 of 9 games for the Jaguars back in 2024 and is a very solid tight end in general. At plus 140, I love this bet. Evan Engram over 2.5 receptions as I make the line closer to minus 110. I think it's a pick 'em. So at plus 140, I'm showing plenty of value, and I would take it down to plus 120. Again, it's Evan Engram of the Denver Broncos over 2.5 receptions at plus 140 on Monday Night Football. Hopefully you enjoyed this breakdown. Again, the best way to support, hit the like button, comment down below what you think about this play, and drop your favorite plays. I'd love to help you, and I've been doing that on other videos, right? If you have your favorite plays and you need anything answered, feel free. Happy to answer that in the comment section below. And of course, make sure to turn on post notifications and hit that subscribe button so you never miss any of my other videos. Really appreciate everybody watching. I really do. But we have to remember, it's not gambling advice.